think it's safe to say that this will be the last Saints Row we'll be getting for a long time, maybe ever. From the bad story and dialogue to the outdated gameplay, it's hard to see why this game came back in the first place. GTA 5 came out in 2013, and we can expect GTA 6 to come out 2025, the latest. There has been a gaping hole with these kind of games that desperately needs to be filled, but everyone is too pussy to try and fill it. Yeah, this ain't gonna be one of my videos y'all used to. This is gonna be that real, raw, raunchy, authentic shit. There aren't that many GTA kind of games anymore, and I don't understand why. Sure, Rockstar is the best at making them, but what happened to trying?
Since when has it become not cool to try? Fucking loser.
I'm not saying go out there and make a game with its sole intention of destroying GTA, but can you make something like it that's actually good? This is why the new Saints Row is so disappointing, because Saints Row was a worthy substitute for GTA, but now it's just a bad parody. Yo, what's good? You already know I'm KenWal, and Saints Row never should have came back this way. This game, as I would call it, is brain dead fun, meaning you gotta forget every game you played before and every great experience, because this game is creatively broke with ideas. Volition, why did you guys make this game? I'm not trying to be mean, but there is neither anything new nor improved that this game adds to the franchise. So instead of just ragging on this game, which there is going to be a lot of that in this video, we are also going to talk about how to make this game less of a bad parody.
We need a name. We call ourselves the Saints.
This ain't it, Chief. That's what I would have told you.
Alright, let me clear things up before I look like another red pill warrior. Movies, games, books, television, entertainment, whatever this so-called going woke, progressiveness, I don't align with that. I don't like when people say that. I think representation is really important, so why not? I only have one rule. Just make it good. That's all. It's not a hard rule. It should be expected when you're in entertainment. Make everything good. The reason why I have a problem with this game going in this direction is because it was authentic. At least, shit, that's what it seemed. This new team at Volition seemed like a certain, not all, type of white people that wanted a pat on the back for adding diversity, but failed to realize that Saints Row always had diversity. You're not doing anything new. My biggest problems I had with this game boils down to two things: the story and the open world. I don't know if it's because this game is outdated or it's just the writing, because this game's story is awful.
What?
From the plot, the characters, dialogue, this game feels like a CW show.
So, I self-identify as a loner.
What? Seriously, the problem with this story is it's always trying not to take itself seriously, but then wants to bring up serious social issues like climate change. It just seems so out of character because this game has to deal with gangsters. For how self-aware this game is, it never brings that up. To make things worse, the team at Volition have no one else to blame except for themselves when it comes to this mess. I never played Saints Row 1, but I played the rest. Saints Row 2 had the best tone because it took the seriousness from the first game and added more well-timed humor and outrageousness. Just the right amount. Saints Row 2 took a bite-sized portion out of the seriousness, and then the fourth one just said, fuck it, I'm eating it all. I don't know why they went with the third game's tone. Even though the third game was fine, I still felt like the third game got out of control and it took the franchise in an opposite direction. To me, I feel like the silver lining with this game is it will serve as an example of what not to do when you want to make a progressive story. So what I would have done with this game's story is scrap it and go with this one. Saints Row Civil War. It wouldn't be that title, but it would be a civil war. The story would be about the Saints Empire slowly crumbling because leadership is old, greedy, and stuck in their ways. The new kids want to take over because they feel like they aren't running the gang right. So they have to do a literal hostile takeover. The original Saints return like Gat, Shauna, and Pierce. I like this story because I created it, but most importantly, it does what they were trying to do better. The old characters should have returned, and this solves that. You can keep the cynical, raw, and uncensored jokes for Gat and the OG Saints, because last time I checked, this is a Saints Row game and it needs to have jokes like this. You can still make them. All you gotta do is just think a little bit harder. Y'all are writers. You instantly would care about what you're doing in the game since you're fighting to save the Saints Empire and you have to go against the characters you grew up loving. In every Saints game, there's a bad boys moment.
Shit just got real.
They have something like that when the dude betrays you at the end, but it then quickly turns into this shit.
You might still win if you collect 3 more bears.
At the end of the story, both sides would realize they need to be open to both perspectives and they fight off another rival gang. Hear me out. Since this is a reboot, they don't kumbaya shit and the new Saints kill the old Saints, replacing them. In all seriousness, the story massively fails in the Saints Row reboot because it doesn't feel like a Saints Row story. And that sucks because the Saints Row stories have always stood out. If the story was good, then it damn sure would have made the gameplay a little bit more tolerable. I liked Santo Illeso, it was decent, but it didn't feel like a character. God damn, I hate when devs say that, but they are valid. It is true, because when they actually pull it off, god damn, it's magnificent. Santo Illeso is loosely based on Las Vegas, and that shows because the entertainment is at an all-time low in this place. This city is so forgettable, like, I can't even remember what's even in the city. Like, there's roads,
There's trees, there's rocks, there's birds, there's squirrels. Come on!
the AI are doing nothing except for collecting steps. There are no activities that make you feel like you're living in a real world. Like, you would think there would be a karaoke activity because of the numerous amount of times they mention it, but there isn't. Well, actually, there's nothing that really separates the districts except for the aesthetics. Worst of all about this game's open world is that there are no side missions. Side missions could have explained the lore of the gangs and Santo Illeso. The gangs that we face just come and go like farts. Side missions aren't anything new in open world games, but it is for Saints Row. Going back to the activities, I don't think they're necessarily bad. Well, some are, but I think they are just outdated and uncreative. They could have made that hopping on the top of the car less of a gimmick by making that a leapfrog activity like the convoy mission in the beginning of the game. I would have gotten rid of the wingsuit since I barely used it and added something that would have been more useful, like a grappling hook. Saints Row 2 had outrageous activities like Fuzz, which had you chasing and beating up criminals for a reality TV show. This helped with all the shooting repetitiveness because you were just beating people's asses. Adding more mini games that actually makes you feel like you're living in a city would have also helped. An open world game always needs to have side content that is meaningful, and most importantly, it needs to have a good world where you want to explore and see what's in it. Maybe then driving taco trucks wouldn't be so bad. Again, the wokeness or the progressiveness, whatever you call it, was not the reason why this game was bad. If you think that, then you're racist. I'm playing, I'm joking, come on, don't leave the video, don't get emotional. Volition's execution is what made this game bad. Volition doesn't have any other IP, so that's probably why they went back to Saints Row, but if you weren't going to do something different or improve upon anything, then why bring this back? Saints Row was a GTA clone, and that is what made it great because it was still able to separate itself due to its uniqueness and creativity. This was not a Saints Row game because they purposely dumbed down the jokes in the story, got rid of the gangster aspect, and created a forgettable open world. I really hope this doesn't turn devs away from making these kinds of games. Hangar 13, you're up next with Mafia 4, and I hope you use Saints Row as inspiration of what not to do. You already know I'm KenWal. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.